What is happening, guys? It's Good here, and in today's video we're going to be elaborating on some of the radios found inside the Giant. These ones in particular are so interesting. They are heavy story orientated and they are Easter eggy as well. I mean, it's so good to see Treyarch implementing more radios into these maps. We never really got this in Black Ops 2, so it's so good to see that they've done Dairies justice in a way, and it's so good to sink our teeth into and get excited for the DLC season ahead, because what these radios contain is just so interesting and exciting, and I love going around listening to radios, getting an idea of the storyline outside of the map we are already playing in. It's just so good stuff. And like I said, these radios are Easter eggy, and that's because the message they contain is dependent on who activates the radio. So if you activate these radios with anyone bar Richtofen, you get a message from Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo, all talking about events that have happened in the past, as well as events that are about to happen elsewhere. And that is just crazy. It's like a warning to themselves in a way. And on the other hand, if you activate them all as Richtofen, you get a message from Maxis. You get 3 messages from Maxis about his plans to kind of destroy the Dairies facility and how Richtofen can help him fulfill this. And basically, I think this is all because it's a multiverse. I think every single radio in this video is happening in a different timeline, and this will make sense as you hear the radios and watch them. So without further ado, we're going to go to Dempsey's verse over at ZA and have a listen to this.
Hey, other me. If you're hearing this, then it means that something's gone foobar. We're going to plan B. Stick to that crap bastard like glue. We need to find out what the hell he has been doing and what he's going to do. We may be able to get a fix on your location if you can trigger one of the paradox visualizations. Good luck. We're all counting on you. Oh, wait. Whatever you do, don't get too close to the radioactive beacon. Makes your hair fall out.
Now, how good was that? Trust me, they get equally as good, if not better. Now, in this radio, Dempsey references himself as Other Me, so he seems to know already that there are more Dempseys out there somewhere that he can warn and he can work with in a way. Now, he also kind of seems to remember his mission objective, which is staying close to Richtofen, as well as Patches as previous involvement with anything to do with Richtofen and 115. He also mentions paradox visualizations, so do they open up the rift? We've seen a rift in Shadows of Evil. Do they open up a similar kind of rift where allows us to travel between universes, as well as sending a beacon out to another world to lock onto our location? What is so important about the world that we are in? What is so important about the Dairies facility inside this timeline? I don't really know, but this seems to be the main objective of this map, to open up a beacon to lock onto the location we are in at the moment. Was this the one? Was this the exact timeline that Maxis and Samantha got teleported away? Was this the origin of the zombie storyline? I don't know. There is so much to talk about. We're going to go straight on to Nikolai's radio right now, which is over at ZB.
It is not all bad news, Nikolai. We may have failed in our mission, but at least there is now one less Richtofen to deal with. If it is any consolation, tell him that the first one is the hardest. I should know. I've killed at least 3 Richtofens. There was the one in the fire, the one with the bolt hook, and the one... What? No one told me. Sorry. Forget what I just said. Everything will be fine.
Now again, Nikolai's radio really emphasizes the fact that there are other versions of themselves. He says that he's killed 3 Richtofens already, so the way in which Richtofen killed himself at the start of the Giant cutscene wasn't really a surprise for him, because it seems like they're going around killing every single Richtofen they possibly can. One with fire, one with a boat hook, and then the last one is undisclosed. So again, does he remember his mission objectives? Was his mission objectives to kill Richtofen in the first place? We really don't know. But at the end of his radio, again, he seems to be a bit confused, and he's kind of, in a way, told not to record this message to himself and kind of keep what he's just said private, because he goes, oh, never mind. So again, what's going on? Is it supposed to be so secret? We don't really know, but we're going to go straight on to Takeo's radio now, which it might be the most important and interesting one yet.
My dreams are haunted haunted by a man in shadow. I fear this vision may be a portent of our destruction.
Now, I think the biggest thing to pick out from this radio is definitely how Takeo highlights the man in shadow in his dreams. Is he haunted by this man? Is he a direct link to the shadow man in Shadows of Evil? Again, they're just radios. We've not seen anything, so we don't know. And it's also interesting how Takeo references himself when he looks in the mirror as a different Takeo. Is it because his mind is getting manipulated by 115? Is 115 giving him a physical change? He doesn't recognize himself anymore. It's just so interesting. Again, I'd love to hear what anyone says in the comments below, because this is always open to discussion. I just kind of highlight this, bring this to everyone's attention, so you guys can theorize and discuss about it as well, because it's just amazing. But that is all of the 3 characters bar Richtofen's radio. Now we're going to go activate them all again as Richthofen, and we're going to see what Maxis says. So again, the first one is going to be over at Teleporter A.
I thank you for your sacrifice, Edvard. Your courageous actions have opened new avenues of opportunity. It is my dearest hope that we may one day set things right and prevent these terrible events from ever unfolding.
Now, there's really not much to highlight in this radio other than the fact that Maxis says that Richthofen has made a sacrifice, and we can interpret this in 2 ways. Either the sacrifice means that the life that Richthofen knew is no longer. He has had to sacrifice that to do what Maxis wants him to do his bidding, to travel between worlds for 2 years. We know this from the character dialogue. To travel and fulfill Maxis's plans, he's had to sacrifice his old life and leave that behind. But the sacrifice could also mean how Richthofen is dying. You see Richthofen die at the start of the giant cutscene, and does this mean that the Richthofen in Origins right now is eventually going to get killed as well? We really don't know, but that's what I've taken away from that radio. And now we move on to the next radio over at ZB.
Look around you, Edvard. The giant sleeps. This facility was once alive with activity. Now, it is a graveyard. Group 935 are no more. What remains of their work has been scattered to the 4 winds. Only echoes and shadows remain. The test subjects can never be allowed to awaken. The havoc that could be wreaked upon the future by such simple-minded individuals could be catastrophic. Heed my warning.
Now, how interesting was that radio? The way in which Maxis said that the giant sleeps, that Group 935 are no more inside this universe. This must mean that after Origins, the complete group just must have fallen apart because of what happened inside that map, with the workers down in the excavation digging mines, must have just got attacked and completely jeopardized what they were doing down there. He also says that do not let the war experiments become unearthed. Again, is that a reference to the people that got infected in Origins? This brings us nicely onto what Maxis says in the last radio, what Maxis' plans are.
Remember what I told you, Edvard. The scars left by Samantha's past actions allow us to communicate across the rift. Follow my words. I will find you. When you release the beacon, I will secure your extraction and destroy the site. Remember, the burden is yours to carry, Edvard. The others must never know the truth.
Yeah, how crazy is that? I'm literally going to read out the entire radio again just because it's so interesting. You can go so in depth with this. Maxis says, remember what I told you. The scars left by Samantha's past actions allow us to communicate across the rift. I will find you. He literally says the exact phrase just reworded after completing the fly trap. When you activate it and play hide and seek, he locks onto your location. He knows where you are. What is so important about this dairy's facility? Release the beacon, which is the fly trap, destroy the site. He wants to destroy this particular dairy's facility in time. He wants to get rid of it, and as soon as he does that, a secure extraction will be available for Richthofen. The burden is Edward's. Others must never know the truth. Are the other people, Takeo, Dempsey, Nikolai, too damaged by 115 to get a secure extraction? This is what my mind is doing to me, and I absolutely love it. And there we go, guys. guys, there are the 6 Easter egg radios inside this map. I'm pretty sure you're as hyped as I am right now in terms of storyline and what is coming next. Treyarch have already said that the Origins end screen is going to make sense after this DLC season, and I cannot wait for that to finally make sense, and for all of these multiverse links to kind of come into one and make sense too. The only other thing I want to really touch upon is Maxis. There seems to be 2 versions of Maxis present inside this facility. The Maxis inside the radios that you've just listened to seems to be a good Maxis, talking to Richtofen. Richtofen seems to understand this Maxis and want to go along with this plan. He wants to blow up the Darius facility as much as Maxis does as well. But the Flytrap Maxis seems to be the same Maxis at the end of Black Ops 2 in Buried. He seems to be an evil Maxis. He seems to know exactly what Samantha's been through, and he wants to kind of still get revenge. What happens if Richtofen thinks instead of working for the good Maxis, he's working for the bad Maxis? So the bad Maxis will get Origins Richtofen to do his doing for him. That is why Richtofen blew his own brains out. I could make so many videos on this. I might still do, but I just want to get that theory out there because there is just so much to these radios right now. It is messing with my head. Apart from that, guys, thank you for watching this video. I know it was slightly long, but hopefully you enjoyed it and you found it really insightful. Other than that, watch out for more videos. It has been Goody, and goodbye.